You're listening to the best radio in the universe. Non-stop music. All day long.
You are listening to New Jersey's badass radio legend, Gregory Joseph, on New Jersey 88.7 WGAI T-Rock Oon, baby.
That is a great metaphor for what it's like to work with me.
Okay.
Because if you think about Indiana Jones, first of all, he's an expert in symbols, right? And he has to be a detective. And each step is a clue, and it is it's life or death. And sometimes this journey, it is a death and rebirth experience. So there are parts of you that die so that new parts of you can be born. That is a Deborah Lukovich. I had a midlife crisis, and now I'm a depth psychologist. So my expertise is the language of the unconscious, the study of the unconscious. So like a really easy way to understand what that is probably your listeners have seen that image of an iceberg where you see how much, the iceberg looks huge on top of the water. But when you look at it from underneath the water, like 90% of it is underwater, and that's you. So you actually don't know 90% of who you are.
I would 100% agree with that. Yeah. Well, I can think of as the Poseidon Adventure, the Titanic or something like that. Yeah, so we're 90% underwater, but there's only a 5% chance of that, Doc. They said there would be no math. All right, let's settle down. All right.
Deborah Lukovich. I had a midlife crisis, and now I'm a depth psychologist. So my expertise is...
I grew up in the burbs of Chicago, and my parents were classical musicians. So they had me going really early on cello and piano when I was a little kid. And at that age, I just wanted to be a pitcher. I just wanted to play baseball. But then I saw AC/DC right when MTV was starting. I saw Angus Young, and I thought, well, that's the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life. This is right when Back in Black came out. So that's really the album that kind of launched everything for me, and still holds up, stands the test of time. I think you and I talked about it the other day when we spoke briefly, but one of the best hard rock albums ever, if not the best. And so that really lit a fuse in me, and maybe go to my parents and say, I want a guitar. And I think they were thinking, oh, great, maybe he wants to be the next Segovia and play classical guitar. And then a couple weeks later, I was playing Black Sabbath riffs, and they were going, what have we done?
All right, so tell them who you are.
My name is Kenneth Toad. I'm 50 years old. I work at Wawa, and want to be a member of your crew.
Of the Mean Machine, huh?
Yep.
You got that money that you owe me?
What money?
I said... All right, so listen, last time, you got that money you owe me?
No, I'm a little short right now. Sorry, man.
All right, bro.
Right.
No problem.
All right.
See you later.
Are you ready?
I am always ready, except for right now I'm not ready. No, I'm kidding. I am. So we'll go like this. We'll do 3, 2, 1, and you're on.
You're listening to the Mean Machine Radio Show in New Jersey, 88.6 FM WGAT. Doesn't get much better than that.
Rock on, baby.
Rock on!
This is kind of like you did like Spock instead of There you go. I knew it. My goodness. See, everybody has a fun time in my show. Tell your friends.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Thank you so much, Lucy, and we got Aaron there. We appreciate that you took time. That's why we always thank people for their time, because it doesn't matter how much money or accolades or anything. That's one thing that you cannot get back. So you got to spend it wisely, because life is short. And
Yes. Are you ready?
I am.
We have many of these safeguards that are all done in the moderation process. That costs a lot of money. It's expensive. But to us, it's an investment that's well worth it, because we have a responsibility to keep that platform safe, ensuring that content is safe, of age, consensual, legal, etc. And it took a lot to get there. If you would ask a performer 5 years ago to give their real ID to a porn website, they would have probably looked at you like you were crazy. It just wasn't done. We had to build that trust with our community. You know, Kim talks about people who critique the platform. I am so open to criticism. I want to hear feedback. But it's one thing to sort of sling mud, and another thing to sit down and collaborate with us. Like, I go to law enforcement conferences. I went to the largest counter internet child exploitation conference in Canada. I spoke to an audience of 400 police officers and prosecutors. I want to hear from the experts as to where the issues are. And by the way, that audience was blown away by what we're doing in terms of trust and safety. We want to engage proactively, and you only do that with dialogue. We have many of these. When you search any one of our platforms for illegal content, and you can go ahead and try it, search underage, search 16-year-old. First of all, you're not going to see any content. Those words are all flagged. You're going to see deterrence messaging. Warnings, not just that what you're looking for is illegal, but here are resources, mental health organizations where people looking for this kind of material can get help. Our trust and safety is really second to none. However, that's not worth very much if the world doesn't know about it.
You're accessible too.
You're not when you do hide the work that you're doing, people assume there's something shameful about it. We're of the view there is nothing shameful about this. In fact, we're incredibly proud of the work that we do, not just the platforms we offer, but the trust and safety system that allows them to operate. But if you hide, if you're not open and vocal about that, you're unable to get that message out. So to us, it was this real lack of openness and transparency in the industry. And we thought to ourselves, we can do this differently.
2 executives from Ethical Capital Partners coming on the show to talk about not only the controversy, the accusations and things that are being said about specifically Pornhub and their other platforms, but also the innovative solutions that they've implemented and that they're working towards to protect the innocent.
By the way, I've never heard of a Pornhub. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure your audience is unfamiliar with this platform, but I think they'll be very intrigued with this dialogue because, of course, it's a dialogue not many people are willing to have coming from the world of advocating for child safety. Those two things don't normally coincide. Now, my mission, for the avoidance of doubt, I have no judgment for consenting adults doing whatever they want to do with consenting adults. My mission is to protect the innocent, specifically children.
I said, I'll accept that. When you said great, I'll accept that.
Well, you know, I use the term loosely, but.
You're listening to WGAT Radio. You're listening to The Mean Machine with Gregory Joseph on 88.6 FM right here in New Jersey, the best station you could listen to. And let me tell you something else. This is the best show you could listen to. Rock on, baby! Rock on!
Can't end the show any better than that.
I hope you can use that. And I just want to say, I just want to say, Mr. Fazzliano, thank you so much for this chance. Anyway.
Right. We both got to write him a check. All right. Joey Gator, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, Joey. Take care. Say a prayer. All right. Well, he's a funny guy. I love that guy. He's one of a kind here. But in any event,
you do a great job with this show. I've been watching since we met. I've been watching your stuff, and you do a great job with this show.
You really do. Well, we're mutual fans of each other, and that's nice. It's a Jersey thing, baby. And you said
we're Taylor ham raised.
That's right. See, you call it Taylor ham. People call it pork roll. Get the out of my face with that stuff. It's gravy, not sauce. It's coffee. CAWFEE. Forget about it. You understand?
It's coffee, not coffee. It is gravy. It's not sauce. Sauce has no meat. I don't want to get aggravated with the cooking stuff because I really will. I get really pissed off.
You mean you don't want a hoagie? I'm like, what the hell is that? It's a sub or a hero?
You want a sub. All right?
Forget about it. When you come here, when you come back to Jersey, we're going to go to Dickie D's. That's the Italian hot dog place in Newark. It's over there by Calandras, you know. And we're going to cruise down Bloomfield Ave with my hand out like the thing. Be like, look at this watch, mother. You know what I mean? Like I feel better. All right, so let's watch this scene from it's a classic one.
I think you've made your point, Goldfinger. Thank you for the demonstration.
Choose your next witticism carefully, Mr. Bond. It may be your last. The purpose of our 2 previous encounters is now very clear to me. I do not intend to be distracted by another. Good night, Mr. Bond.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. There is nothing you can talk to me about that I don't already know.
forgetting one thing. If I fail to report, 008 replaces me.
I trust he will be more successful.
A mean-spirited son of a bitch, you know, she said that's not going to get you anywhere in life. So, but we all have our struggles and stuff.
Well, of course. I mean, and maybe not like that. That, like I said, that's just the fact that we can sit here and you could talk. Obviously, you hold her in high regard, as well you should.
Right.
Because it's people like that, family, and that's like the glue. Like for my family, same kind of thing. Like my grandfather. So these people, they were really. It was a special. I'm not saying that it isn't now. I'm saying that just back then, the fabric of our country was built around people like your
Right.
grandmother, like your family, like mine, and so many others. The
Right.
backbone of this country started there. They built stuff. They brought stuff. They came over. They were selfless. They had to go. I mean, my God, she was in the camp. I mean, it speaks volumes about the type of people that raised you and that were instrumental in making you who you are now. Heavens, I got to mute my mic. So here we go.
I want to be near you. I want you to hold me. Oh, hold me closer. Closer. Closer.
I'll hold you any closer, I'll be in back of you.
Oh, why can't we break away from all this? Just you and I, and lodge with my fleas in the hills. I mean, flee to my lodge in the hills. And you can say it was a real love match. We married for money. Eh, my shrinking Violet? Say, it wouldn't hurt you to shrink 30 or 40 pounds.
Oh, you impudent head.
Why, you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, and that's not saying much for you.
Why don't you marry me?
Why, marry you?
You take me and I'll take a vacation. I'll need a vacation if we're going to get married.
But you're the man I've been dreaming of.
What do you eat before you go to bed?
Yes, I don't think I've ever seen four more beautiful eyes in my life. Well, three anyway.
Ready to dance with you when the cows come home?
Yeah.
On second thought, I'd rather dance with the cows when you come home.
Heavens, I got to mute my mic. So here we go. Done what you've done and been that successful as a little person, I would have walked right up to past everybody by and said, "Hey, I'm Chip Douglas, bitch. I go right to the front." You know?
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. You'll never be asked back. There's certain
Yeah,
things
but
you
you're
can
Chip
do,
Douglas,
and
man. You're like Teflon. Nothing's
well,
gonna
that
stick
was
to you.
always a problem because I'd walk in, and there'd be some 20, maybe 28, 30-year-old casting person who somehow got that job, and of course, 10 years before, 20 years before, they were
Yeah.
watching My Three Sons when it was first on.
Right.
And they were like in awe of my presence, which made it kind of awkward for me,
I mean,
because I'm just
Chip
thinking,
Douglas
man,
is
I'm,
the head
I'm
thing
just
on
trying to get a part here. I'm just trying to get work.
Right.
And meanwhile, this person's falling all over themselves, or the director,
Really?
or the producer. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of cool, though. Like, you might not get the part, but they definitely want an autograph. If it feels like connecting.
It's a
Sometimes
wonderful
it does.
world of the
Sometimes it
internet.
doesn't.
Hi, welcome to our show.
Yeah, like I said.
Hey, you're listening to Stanley Livingston. I play Chip on My Three Sons, and you're listening to the Mean Machine Radio at 88.6 WGAT.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
Hey, you're
right, so here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the two masterminds that came up.
Hi, this is Tamara. Hi, this is Tamara, and you're listening to Mean Machine Radio Station. Rock on, baby.
Awesome.
You have to answer for Santino, Carl.
Mike, you got it all wrong.
You fingered Sonny for the Barzini people. That little farce you played with my sister. You think that could fool the Corleone?
Mike, I'm innocent. I just run the kids. Please, Mike, don't do this to me. Don't touch this, please.
Classic scene, man.
No doubt.
So is Philip Tattaglia. Mo Green.
Get ready for the ride of a lifetime with your favorite DJ.
You're listening to the Mean Machine Radio Show on New Jersey, 88.6 FM WGAT.
You're listening to the best radio in town. Stay tuned.
Tune into the Mean Machine Radio Show in New Jersey for real talk with no BS. We're real people telling it like it is. Get the raw truth on all things in society, life, and culture. Join us for brutally honest guests, banter, and no-nonsense advice. The Mean Machine Radio Show, where life gets real.
Let's go. Like this.
Instagram, some of the pictures that were sent over to me, and it was it looked like you were having a good time and a lot of. I mean, it's fun. It's just like
I have a good time in a phone booth.
That's right, because you're Superman.
Give me a bunch of Italians in one room. Forget about it. How could you not have fun?
Forget about it's right. Yeah, I know. All right. Well, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, we'll show a couple of clips, and obviously, people know you as Carlo Rizzi. And I mean, The Godfather is like, come on, especially for an Italian that grew up like me. I'm half Calabrese, half Sicilian. So for us, it was probably right after Sesame Street. It was probably the first thing I watched right after that.
That's a great comparison, Sesame Street and The Godfather.
I worked on that for almost 10 seconds. Yeah, but it's
Sorry,
fun. You know, and I have a question, Larry, and you're the only one on planet Earth that's going to be able to answer this. How did you do that where you got the donut to stick? No, how the hell? And then you hear thud. Like, what? I know that that's probably a dumb question, but it's been bothering me.
No, it's a universal question. You have no idea how many people ask me this question. It's amazing because.
Yeah, but it's just funny. Seasons part from.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll play this.
Do you remember when you came in to audition for us?
Yeah.
There was a box of raisins on the coffee table. Did you, by any chance, take them with you when you left?
What are you talking about?
Well, we were all eating the raisins, and I remember you were eating some of the raisins, and then you left, and the raisins were gone. And I was just wondering if, maybe you took them with you.
Are you accusing me of stealing the raisins?
Oh, no.
Now, why would I steal a box of raisins?
No, you wouldn't. Nobody would. It's just that they were missing, and, well, I'm just inquiring.
Let me give you a word of advice, okay? I want you to stay away from me. I don't want to talk to you. And I don't want to hear any more of your stupid little notes and suggestions.
Seasons part from it's like that line that line where obviously it's Don Henley who's singing that part of it, and in Hotel California he says some dance to remember and some dance to forget. I don't know. I just always thought that he was trying that was a metaphor for other things, and I wasn't always quite sure. I wish I could have asked the guy. I've never met Don Henley. I would have. I went and saw them though in '94. The Eagles' Hell Freezes Over tour, great tour. a great concert and a great group. It really was. The Eagles were really, they're Hall of Famers. But I just remember that. It stuck in my head. Some dance to remember and some dance to forget. I don't know. It just kind of stuck with me, you know? And that's another thing. Remember when people, I remember beepers. People used to 911 and 911 and 911. What am I, a surgeon? I'm on call? What the fuck is this? The best was the people that would get the text and then use their cell phone. They couldn't call out because it was too expensive. But they would use a payphone to call to get their message and then use their cell phone to call the number back. And then later on, remember in like 2007, 8, they were still doing it. Remember we had to pay, like I didn't even have text. I didn't even want to text because you had to cycle through all the numbers. It wasn't like their own individual dedicated numbers. Remember you had to wait till like after 9 o'clock so that it would be free to call. Do you guys remember that? And not 9. You had to wait till 9:01. I tried that at 9 o'clock and it charged me. You had to wait till 9:01. Then you could talk like all night. So you got to call your grandma. You got to have her take a nap so you could call her after 9 because she's in California and you're in New York and you can't afford it. And you can't text her because you don't have a text. All right. Emily, let's bring her up. Ta-da! There she is, as promised. She just starts laughing. I didn't even say anything yet. What's up there, Dollface? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you look wonderful and you smell terrific.
Thank you.
How's it going on your Sunday?
It's okay.
All right. Listening to the radio for school closures, like when it was a snow day. And if you missed it when they were announcing it, like whatever your town was, whatever, they would do it by state, and then they would go into the different municipalities and the different towns and everything, the cities, whatever. And if they happen to miss yours, or you, I'm sorry, if you missed it, you're like, oh, shit, because usually it was alphabetical. You're like, oh, shit, did they say our school? Look outside. I'm looking outside. No, it can't be school. But this one is having school. But these schools are closed. Oh, but that's not New York. I mean, that's New York. That's not New Jersey. What are they on? M? Shit, we got to wait. We missed it. And you got to wait for them to go back to A, and then they have to take a commercial break and everything. And you're like, well, shit, do I get my shoes on? Do I get my boots on? And we're going to school. We're not going to school. As far as your parents are concerned, it didn't matter if there was a lightning storm and the apocalypse and the four horsemen. I have a tattoo of Davy Crockett on my ass. True or false?
True.
It is true. Okay.
I lost a bet.
I was just guessing. You lost a bet. That's actually funny.
The nail on.
And we would have taken tramp stamp or sidebar, but you have one on your ass. So I think that's great. Davy Crockett is a Tennessee person.
Daddy.
What does it say?
David Crockett Daddy is what it says.
Okay. Wow. I don't even know what to say to something like that. That's illegal. Okay.
Sounds about right.
I once bid on Uncle Jesse's overalls on eBay. True or false?
False.
Okay. Let's put in this one. I have at least one Confederate flag in my possession. True or false?
It's not mine, but somebody in my family's.
This is supposed to be funny. You don't have to be the right answer. It's okay. We know that you do. I just was.
I don't, Paul.
Okay. I don't have the Dukes that had you said someone had a lunchbox. Whoever that person is, we had it.
I had strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake. Nice. With no bones. All right, here we go. Family Feud should win an Emmy Award every year. True or false?
Not if Steve Harvey is hosting it. False.
Give it shit. And you know what I mean? You call it like you see it. And you need more people to actually. You are making bones about it. And with that, why I want her on. You'll see. You'll see. Let her
I take people. So why not say obvious? They like fitness.
Yeah. And some people can't see through it, but people like you and I, and there's a lot like us, I would assume, can see right through that bullshit immediately. You can tell.
Yeah, you can. Definitely. Especially
What are you
on
drinking?
Twitter as well, on X. I mean,
Yeah, X.
There's a lot of them on there. A lot of people that need to be called out, definitely.
Well, I'm all for that. And for those that are listening on WGAT, you can't see Dr. Deb right now, but she's got that kind of presence that you want. Just hold me and tell me everything's going to be okay. I mean, I'm telling you. Once you see this on YouTube, you go, oh. You know what I mean? Like she's. I mean, to me anyway. That's the way I feel about it. That's what struck me when we first spoke. That there was something like I know that she could bring value to other people. That's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to. For those that are listening on WGA, like I said before, some DJs make it look easy. I'm in awe. I mean, I don't think I'm the greatest in the world, even though I have years of experience. I see there's the little things that you see or don't see. That to me, someone that's in the business for as long as I have been, I'm like, wow, I'm blown away by some of these people, and some of them suck, but there's others, man, they're really good at what they do, and excellent content, and the way it flows. They have the best editors and everything. I mean, they're really good. I'm a fan. I really am, because I know how difficult it is, especially in this day and age where everything is changing. It seems like every month is something different. Every year it's something different, or more extreme, or more advanced, or whatever you want to call it. One way or another, you're paying for it. To do a show where we talk to someone, either one or two people, as a remote guest, regarding the topic of diabetes. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I have firsthand knowledge on a lot of this stuff, but why would you want to believe me, right? Some may be, and some maybe they don't, but I want to hear voices about someone who is a diabetic, whether it's type 1 or type 2, you know what I mean? Or even someone that is a caregiver for someone that is, that does have diabetes, that kind of thing. We're looking to have someone like that so we can vet them and have them on our next show. And that's no bullshit. That's the truth. The next show that I do, I'd like to have that showcased on that particular show. I'm going to take a quick break, though. So for those that know, that understand, more serious subject, that doesn't always mean that it's going to be health. So you got someone like me that's talking and meeting different and new and exciting and interesting people that I might want to have on the show or as a guest and interview them or talk to them. I talk to male and female personally, even on my own cell phone and everything. You have someone like me that's reaching out, not trolling people, not asking for donations, not selling Bitcoin, not trying to get with them or all that, and just an adult conversation. And when I say adult, I don't mean like adult film, I mean like adults. Like two grown-ups talking. Oh, you seem interesting, and I like your style, and I like your sarcastic, your type of humor and all that kind of stuff. But it's more difficult and a bigger mountain for me to climb because you have all these idiots that are sending dick pics and all this crazy shit. What woman, let me ask you this, what woman would look at a picture and you send a picture of your dick to them and they go, oh, look at that's a beautiful penis. Yeah, I definitely want to get with it. Are you shit? So you got someone who really did not curse at all, or hardly at all, when I was in clubs. Obviously, when I was on radio, we couldn't back in the day, but whether it was mobile or clubs or anything like that, I didn't. And I knew that some DJs did. I'm not saying or speaking bad of them. Everyone has their own style, their own way that that they do things. And their surroundings are different than perhaps mine was. But even those that were the same, I just didn't feel the need to curse over the mic. Not because I couldn't. I just didn't want to do it. It seems like now that I've gotten older and I was out of the booth for 11 years, I seem like I'm just kind of letting it go a little bit more, you know what I mean? Letting it fly. And maybe that's something that happens when you get older. How would I know? Because also, I have to do that. It really did not curse at all, or hardly at all, when I was in clubs. Obviously, when I was on radio, we couldn't back in the day, but whether it was mobile or clubs or anything like that, I didn't. And I knew that some DJs did. I'm not saying or speaking bad of them. Everyone has their own style, their own way that, that they do things. and their surroundings are different than perhaps mine was. But even those that were the same, I just didn't feel the need to curse over the mic. Not because I couldn't. I just didn't want to do it. It seems like now that I've gotten older and I was out of the booth for 11 years, I seem like I'm just kind of letting it go a little bit more, you know what I mean? Letting it fly. And maybe that's something that happens when you get older. How would I know? Christmas or whatever. So it's totally cool with me. But so I want to make sure that people, this is just a little something that I put together. Okay, so here it is. October 31st. Kids, come and get candy. It's okay. November 1st to October 30th. Kids, come get some candy. Not okay. You guys got that? And that's for ice cream trucks and drive-bys too. So let's review. October 31st. Kids, come to my house, get some candy. Okay. November 1st to October 30th. Kids, come and get some candy. Not okay. Visual aid. There you go. Lighten the mood a little bit. Keep up your damn decorations. You can wear Michael Myers mask 24/7. I don't really care. But for all the children out there that better not be watching the show, I'm sure they're all doing their homework right now. And for the other parents out there, like I said, it goes for ice cream trucks, people wearing raincoats, and of course, Christmas or whatever. And so you need to talk to someone and you want to be able to get maybe some spiritual advice or something like that. And so you hear the gates opening, and here comes the guy that's coming to talk to you. And you sit up in your bunk or your cot, your bed, whatever, in your cell or whatever. And in walks in the fucking son of Sam. Are you shitting me? Yeah, this guy's already on edge, and he's a psycho and everything else, but he's trying to change it, whatever. Let's send David Berkowitz in to talk to him. Are you out of your goddamn mind? I would be like, I would freak out if David Berkowitz, yeah, that's who I need to talk to. Out of all the people in the chaplains and the priests and all these different people, robbers, whoever it might be that you want to talk to, they send the son of Sam. I thought we were screwed. I'm like, these millennials suck. They don't understand life. They don't understand, what it is. It's not all true. So I stand corrected. There's some people that were taught correctly by their parents, and they have dignity and they have respect. And that's something you should be proud of. So by encompassing a whole group, or age group, I should say, of people, and say, whether you're a guy or girl, I can't deal with that, you're too young, but it's not 100% true. There is people that were taught the right way. And I commend you for it. In my book, you're already a winner. And you'll appreciate it even more yourself when you get older and the roles change. I was young too. I'm not old, but I'm just saying, as you get older, you appreciate it even more. I didn't understand what that meant before, but now I do. And so for those people, and if they're watching, they might be, or listening on satellite, thank you, because there is hope. I thought it was good. I did like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Naughty.
Yeah, naughty. Yeah. And you actually felt bad for the kid. The nuns were kicking his ass and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember they pulled it. They pulled it like here in the U.S. or whatever. We saw it on VHS. We had to go and rent it. Don't be fined. Please rewind. I don't know why they pulled now. That's that could be a commercial now in 2000.
That's what it is. It becomes so desensitized because of basically horror morphed into gore. Like how? Look at the Saw franchise. How outlandish can we kill somebody to get people to come back and watch?
There's a lot of thought behind that. The first Saw was genius because he's there, alive, on the floor, and then you had Jigsaw. Now that's not creepy. That fuck talk about and some horror communities. What could be better than that right before Halloween? And that's a win-win right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the actual the whole thought and process, the whole background of Halloween, isn't that an Irish thing? Didn't that originate?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It came from us.
You're creepy motherfuckers. I swear to God, no, I'm all kidding. But no, I got to tell you that's so. I mean, you guys had Halloween. I mean, I'm Italian. What do we have? We had Bela Lugosi and Dracula. That's about it. And actually, that's Romanian. It's not even Italian. But we made the food that we watch while we're watching the movie. So we talk about. Do not make fun of gullible people. Think about it. You were told this stuff whatever it was, from a teacher, from a parent, from a relative, from a caregiver, you know what I mean, your friends, all types of people, all different parts of their family. And, and as you grew up, you're like, well, this is what I was told, this is the way it should be, this is the way that it is. You know what I mean? You have no reason to dismiss it otherwise. But that's not how 2023 works. It hasn't worked that way in a long time. But man, deep down, wouldn't it be nice to be, I guess what people call is gullible? They're not buffoons. They're not jerks. They're not idiots. They're not stupid. They're not suckers. They believe. They believe what you tell them. Now, whether that's a smart way to go through life, who am I to judge that? I'm giving you my opinion only. Why I will never make fun of gullible people ever again, because those are the people that are the most pure of heart. Midnight train to nowhere. To nowhere. In the midnight train to nowhere. In the town of Redwood, the 12:07 a.m. train's whistle was a familiar sound. But on June 14th, 1988, the train never arrived. Authorities traced its path, but it seemed to have vanished after leaving the tunnel at Miller's Bend. The tracks were clear, and no wreckage was found. Where did the train and its passengers go on that fateful night? Redwood, Oregon, June 14th, 1988. Nestled amidst the towering pines of Oregon, the town of Redwood was a tranquil haven. Residents lived in harmony with the rhythm of nature and the familiar sounds of daily life, none more pronounced than the 12:07 a.m. train. To many, this train was Redwood's gentle reminder that the world beyond their secluded town still marched on. What if the person you're interested in lives far away? Maybe you're curious about dating in different parts of the world or at different ages? I've got you covered, my friend, with chapters specifically devoted to those topics. This book is packed with advice and tips for all sorts of dating situations. Towards the end, we'll dive even deeper. We'll talk how dating can help you in your career, profession, or business. Maybe you're wondering why you should listen to me. Well, for starters, I have over 30 years of experience in the pickup game. In my earlier years in the game, I read nearly every book written on this topic and attended countless workshops to learn as much as possible. Later, I became a dating and pickup coach, coaching hundreds of students in the game. I also participated in masterminds with some of the most respected and most famous players in the game. Don't let other people and situations in this world, in this life, define who you are. You should be the only person defining who you are. Don't listen to other people when it comes to that. Don't take your surroundings and your situation and everything. Don't take that to heart to the part where, oh, well, that's who I am. That's just the way it is. You know, it is what it is. Forget that. You define yourself. You dictate the terms. You'll have a happier and mentally healthier life. I speak from experience on that one. People will start to see you how you see yourself. Now, once again, there's probably another thing that you have probably heard, or maybe you've heard over the years, you know, in passing or whatever. Once again, it's right on the money. They're hitting the nail right on the head. This is my best and only advice as far as that's concerned. Keep going. Be resilient. Be resourceful. You know what I mean? You can work hard up to a certain point. You got to work smart. So if someone says, well, I worked for really, really hard for 50 weeks or 50 hours, whatever it is, let's just say the hypothetical. I'm making up an example here. And someone says, well, I worked the same type of way, but I worked for 30 hours. That doesn't mean they worked less hard than you did. They worked smarter and they got the same amount of things done, if not more, in a shorter period of time. Past experience, life experience, and you should too, up to a certain extent with certain things, I would say. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that why sit around and wait? You have to go out and you have to fail and you have to fail and you have to fail, and that's how you'll succeed. And I know that you've heard this in different ways and probably put differently in different contexts, but man, it is so true. And when you reach the promised land, whatever that promised land is for the, you know, for that particular person, whoever you might be, whatever walk of life, like I said, man, it's going to feel so good, right? That you set a goal for yourself and either met it or surpassed it in whatever time frame, you know, whatever time period that was, years, months, minutes, days, whatever it is. It makes you feel good. I say what's on my mind. Life's too short. It really is. It really is. You know what I mean? You gotta live real quick. Let me tell you real quick about the dash. You people know what the dash is? let the Mean Machine tell you what the dash is. You have to live in the dash. You can't worry about the beginning. You can't worry about the end. Concentrate on the dash. What is the dash? You ever see a gravestone at a cemetery or wherever? It's got the year that you were born, the year that you died. And what's in between those two things is a dash. Live in the dash. Be back in 5 minutes. You are listening and watching to the Mean Machine Talk Radio Show. It is Saturday. I hope that answers your question. So that's kind of how I prepare by not preparing. I'm very quiet and everything, and I just kind of boom, and I just go for it. It's exhilarating when I see the little bubble come up. It says 3, 2, 1, boom, you're live. And when we do the new by the end of the month or by August, hopefully, you're going to see the stuff and the thing when it's actually when we're on live. The on-air button will go on, the little screen. It's going to be pretty cool. And I have it as a radio setup because that's what I was trained to do. So I'm going to do that. So you could call it streaming, you could call it a podcast, you want to call it whatever you want to call it. You know, to each his own. But to me, that's why it's called the Mean Machine Talk Radio Show. But we're going to be having music and all different types of music, by the way. We're not going to just rock out, even though we probably will. 70s, 80s, 90s, some classic rock in there, some top 40, you know, whatever. I'm going to be able to play all sorts of stuff and videos, all copyrighted, cool stuff without a problem. But like I said, there's no such thing as a free lunch, as they used to say. So I'm working on that. Like, you know, a lot of time and effort goes into this, a lot of thought, and a lot of, you know, ups and downs. I hope that answers. If the emphasis is on monetization, making money, why not take your own fate and take it into your own hands, at least partially? Don't leave it all up to anybody, not just you, to anyone. Do what you want to do. Do what you're good at. Do what you like. If you could do it, there was a lot of YouTubers that I've not spoke to directly, but that I know about. And they said the big thing for them was, okay, this was their big thing. If you could do what you do, whether you're getting paid or not, let's say you would love doing it and you're interested in it, whether it's a hobby, if it's more than a hobby, if this is your way of life, if you have the time and the means and everything that you can do all that. If you could do all that on the same level and have fun and have people come in and followers and subscribers and all that kind of stuff, if you would be okay if you didn't make any money, would you still do it? And if the answer is yes, then you would be successful when you do find if it's small, medium, large, you know, red, green, and amber. Yeah, that's right. It's not orange, it's amber. Take the motor vehicle test in any state. It is not a yellow light, it is a amber light. Semantics, I get it. But I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyway, we are on a 5 to 7 second delay, so forgive me, you're going to see me moving and the camera angles are going to change and, you know, that kind of stuff. And that being the way it is, we will be taking a break in a minute or two, like I said, to be in compliance. But you know me, I'm a stickler for the law. You know, that's me. You know, it's like using a spork for the first time. What the hell is this thing? You know, I almost killed myself. Seriously, I almost killed someone with a spork, and that person is me. I'm not kidding, man. These are the things that prison riots are made from. I swear to God, who the hell thought of that? What a horrible idea. Either give me a spoon or give me a fork. What the hell am I going to do with a spork? So I can't really pick anything up, but I can't really scoop anything because then I'll stab myself. Who would have thought of that? And then who wanted to name it a spork? How about a foon? A foon would be, you know, like a buffoon, like the freaking guy who made that up. And once again, whoever invented pretzel bread, I hate you. But I love you. Anyway, back in 5. And then we're going to wrap things up here. Season 2 preview of the Mean Machine live from the great state of New Jersey. That's right, the Yankees. But I stay true to my team. So if you're a real fan, you'll appreciate players from other teams. Just because they're not on your team doesn't mean you should hate them. You should respect the fact. I mean, good is good. All right? I mean, that goes for basketball or baseball or football or any sport, really. These are athletes. And people say, you know, I'm with you with it. Oh, man, well, they're millionaires. I mean, they could lose. I mean, there's something you're right. But they're putting, ask Damar Hamlin, you know what I mean? You can just that quick be close to death. You're putting your body, for the rest of your life, you're going to be in pain, by the way. You're putting your body and your livelihood, your family, everything on the line every week when you're playing that game. These people are coming in. Imagine if you ran back kicks. That's like suicide, man. and people do it. So is it worth $50 million? I don't know. Who are these? So many people do the wrong thing with the internet. They don't use it properly, or they're greedy, or they're just not doing the right thing. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows someone like that trying to get over on people, whatever. But I'll tell you what, if done correctly, it's such a great tool. You don't even have to pick up a phone. You could actually hear and see people all over the world, right from your computer, sitting in your living room, or your bedroom, or whatever. There's a laptop or a desktop or whatever. I think that we overlook that. I think that that's really cool that we could do that. We've come so far. And I'll tell you what, pretty soon, the next few years, forget about computers, it's going to be like, I don't know, like holograms or something like that, Oh, yeah, you want to see your friend or whatever that's in another country? Sure. Here's a hologram, like Star Trek or something like that. The Jetsons, if you will. And it's on the horizon. It's closer than you think. But you could check your own stuff out, sir. And I said, I don't want to do that. And they said, why? I said, for the same friggin' reason that I don't stock the shelves, because I don't work here, bitch. Now, somebody, everyone was laughing and everything, but it was taken out of context. And of course, there was a couple of knuckleheads like, oh, well, you called her a bitch, you're a real tough guy. Well, obviously that person is a mental midget and a moron because they didn't know the background story. No, I would never call a female lady anyway, whether it was deserved, substantiated, or not. I would never say that. It was actually a guy I said it to. And the reason I said that is because he's a large guy, his fucking nose is running, he looked like a jerk off, and he's standing there, and he gave an elderly lady that was standing in line in front of me a hard time because she couldn't see what she was doing, and she didn't understand why she needed something behind the counter, and and nobody would help her. And I don't freaking work down. I would have grabbed the shit myself. I would have went back to the counter, got her cigarettes or whatever it was that she wanted. The guy got really nasty. Instead of trying to be nice and patient with an elderly woman, that's someone's mom or grandmother, or you could thank you for that as well. I mean it. When I say thank you, I really mean it. It's not about the money for me. And let me just say this, for those who might or might not know this. I don't need subscribers and I don't need followers, but I value them. And I don't want that to come across as like a weird or stuck up thing or something like that. That's not my motivation. I'm going to do what I love doing no matter what. And people want to come along for the ride. The Mean Machine is a train, and there's only three things you do with a train. You either get on the train, out of the way of the train, or you get run over by the train. But one way or another, the train's going through. And that's how I approach life. I approach parenting. I approach my marriage. Everything that I do, I approach with that type of mindset. And life is a state of mind. So my girlfriend's a midget, and that's cool. Love her to death. So we're laying in bed there, and one morning I turned over, and I looked at her, and she stared at me, and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Everything." I said, "All right." I said, "Are you down for breakfast?" She goes, "I'm down for everything." Why did the man fall in the well? Because he didn't see that well. All right. These are the... So, okay.
Idiots.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. What is this? What is this? You ready? It is a parking placard. It is a placard. It is a parking permit for disabled parking. The thing in your car, P stands for parking and R stands for retarded because you can't read this or whatever, and N is for nincompoop because you have no idea what's going on, okay? It's under P for parking, like when the car's not moving and you park in a parking space. So it's the people say, well, it's too small. I couldn't see it on there where it says remove before driving. Yeah, it's not for driving. When you applied, I have the paperwork right here. When you applied for the damn thing, it says parking permits. What part of not driving? You can't park and drive at the same time. Okay.
Idiots.
I love radio. Welcome to New Jersey 88 WGAT. You're listening to the Mean Machine Radio Show, home of Mr. Badass himself, Gregory Joseph.
When you need the best sound, when you want the best songs, tune in. We're here for you. The best radio in town all day long.
You're listening to the Mean Machine Radio Show, hosted by Gregory Joseph on New Jersey. 88.6 WGAT Rock On, baby.